Yes, people, we are live. Match review time. Welcome to Albert JTV on this Saturday night, New Year's Eve, people. Brighton 2, Arsenal 4. 7 points clear at the top of the league. But before we get into this match review, let's smash the intro for last time in 2022. Footballing community, you should know what to do by now. Like, share, and subscribe. Welcome back to Albert JTV. Social media platform. Know what you're talking about. And what I mean by that is goals, ESR and Saka have done well. They've done okay. They've done well. Yes, people, welcome back to Albert JTV for another match review. Brighton 2, the mighty Arsenal 4. As I said before the intro, 7 points clear at the top of the league. People, the obligatories for the last time in 2022, obliterate the like button and subscribe to Albert JTV. Woo! People, where do we get started, man? Firstly, great game of football. Fantastic game of football. Listen, we go into the game, one change. Zinchenko comes in. Not a massive surprise for me, not a big surprise. You know what I mean? Brighton are a good footballing side, people. Listen, they're a good side. They play some really good football. Whether that was under Graham Potter or under the new manager. My prediction before the start of the game and leading up to the game, I thought Arsenal would win, and I thought let's sneak it. Brighton's not an easy place to go. They create a lot of chances. They play through their midfield very, very well. They got two very, very promising players in the wide areas, in particular with Matoma and Solly March, who's quite experienced season pro. But yeah, listen, one thing I've consistently said with this Arsenal side this season is that we're a lot better at starting games and getting on the front foot. You saw the stat literally during the game when they said that Brighton are the best in the Premier League, getting their nose in front and scoring goals in the first 15 minutes. My word, did Arsenal top that today? What a start, people. A minute in, a minute. And the key thing I must say before we sort of delve into the first goal to put us 1-0 up with a minute to go. Thomas Partey, again, crucial. Did the same thing the other night, robbing the ball off Declan Rice. He's done the same thing again today, getting the ball off Tariq Lamptey. Nice little build-up play. Saka, super first touch, man, for the deflected shot by Martinelli that came to him, and coolly slots it away on the half volley. You know, listen, starting games well is what you want. Starting games well when you're away from home against a side that keep the ball very, very well and are very difficult to beat at the Amex Stadium. Phenomenal start, fast start. And for that first 5-10 minutes, I don't think Brighton knew what hit them. Don't get me wrong, they had the massive miss in terms of not having Moise Caicedo starting. He's a big miss for them, Brighton, in the midfield area. It's like us missing Thomas Partey. He's that crucial to Brighton. And obviously Mwepo, who had to retire due to ill health. So they've had two gaping holes in the middle of the park, in the midfield area. But first 5-10 minutes, we was really, really sharp, really on it. I thought we could have possibly got the second goal to really hammer it home to Brighton. But they weathered the storm well without really even troubling Aaron Ramsdale, to be honest with you. Before we go to the chat quickly. Wow, it's quite busy. Let's get in there. Let's have a go, people. Wilson, happy to cheers, bro. Gonna read some comments out, people. So all the listeners, I've just got some comments in the chat. I'm gonna read them out before I go on even further. Arsenal totally outclassed Brighton. We were absolutely brilliant once again. What a massive win for the Gunners. Listen, Brighton's not an easy place to go. Can't ask Man United fans. You know what I mean? This was a great game for football. Brighton played their part. Most importantly, Arsenal ended the Brighton jinx. Yeah, our record there actually, if you look at it historically, people, it's not great. Going back into the old First Division days. Quickly wish through some comments, people. Yes, my Australian brothers. Happy New Year to all. Scott, Robbie, RJ. Love to you guys, man. I don't know. I can't remember. You're 11 hours ahead, so I'm not going to remember what time it's what top of my head is. But Happy New Year to you, and what a way to start the new year for us Gooners, anyway. For Scott, big up to you guys, man. Wilson also been starting the majority of the games on the front foot, which is very encouraging. It is, and away from home as well. What a New Year's present coming, Arsenal. Arsenal can't afford to make same mistakes they made in the last January transfer window. Arsenal have to learn from their mistakes, otherwise we will fall short again. Well said, Wilson. So yeah, people, man, if you just arrived to the live stream, smash the like button, people. Get them algorithms up. This is also going live on Twitter, and it's also live on my Facebook as well as YouTube. So people, if you're watching, hit the like, subscribe, do all that fantastic stuff, people, particularly after Arsenal come away with a beautiful 4-2 away win down at Brighton. But yeah, listen, Brighton didn't really give us too many issues in terms of troubling Aaron Ramsdale. Like I said, they do play really, really well through their midfield, and the danger men are obviously Solly March and Matoma, who's a really, really good player. So Ben White would have had his work cut out. But even though Brighton sort of rode the storm of the first 5-10 minutes, I always personally felt Arsenal could get that second goal before half-time. And if they could get it, it will be pivotal in terms of how we manage the game. And we did. It was the corner from Saka, good corner actually, cleared out. Martin Odegaard, Captain Odegaard, gets another goal. Bit of a mishit shot, but I don't care. It doesn't matter. It found the back of the net. But that was one pivotal moment, getting that second goal going into the halftime break, because it gives you a different team talk. It gives the Brighton boss a different team talk, and it gives Mikel Arteta a different team talk as well. But yeah, fantastic to go 2-0 up. And even better coming into the second half. We thought we had a quick start in the first half, and we did. 2 minutes into the second half, we get the third goal. Eddie Nketiah. Very, very delighted for him. He's got his opportunity to be the main man for a little bit because of Jesus being out. And what I liked about the goal, was a good team build-up play. If you watch the goal back again, is poacher's goal, man. Striker's goal. You know, people like Lineker, Jimmy Greaves back in the day, Pippo Inzaghi. These kind of this kind of goals were bread and butter for these guys. And right place, right time, 3-0, game's dead and buried. Because whoever gets that goal going into the second half, whether it be in the first 10-15 minutes, Arsenal being 2-0, Brighton get one to make it 2-1, it's a different game. But Arsenal getting that third goal within 2 minutes to the restart the second half, absolutely fantastic. Really, really put Brighton in a position where they've got to come out. They've got nothing to lose now. They're 3-0 down at home. You know what? I'll be honest. I thought it'd be a tight game. It didn't go the way I thought it could, in a good way, in the sense that Arsenal were really, really ruthless. And there were moments, particularly in the first half and a little bit in the second half, where it was cruise control and Arsenal were in control and they were comfortable and they've been very ruthless. Partey again was solid in midfield. The defense didn't have too much worries in the first half, but it changed in the second half. Martin Odegaard, instrumental again. And Brighton, I did think Brighton would score, and they did score. Arsenal will look at it from a defensive point of view. It won't be great viewing. And defensively was a bit of a concern, really. We started the second half fantastically well, but yeah, the second half defensively, there were some lapses of concentration. For me, Ramsdale didn't look really particularly assured self throughout the course of the game, to be honest with you, not just the second half. And another pivotal moment, Brighton make it 3-1. The crowd are up. The players have got a bit of energy, an extra 5-10%. But we get the fourth goal. And what a goal. What a world-class piece of play from Martin Odegaard. Absolutely fantastic pass to Martinelli. Listen, Tariq Lamptey is no slouch. He's no slouch. For Martinelli, the pass done it for him. He gave him that extra yard, 2 yards. And you know what? I'll be honest with you, at the time of Martinelli is going through, Saka was in a very good position. And I actually thought he should have squared it. So if he didn't score, I'm glad he scored, because I think Saka would have given him a rocket. I would have given him a rocket if I was Saka personally. But listen, we get the goal 4-1, and it stings the game there. it bucks the momentum for Brighton to get the second goal to make it 3-2 and make it a bit dicey. So that was a pivotal moment again. Fantastic pass from Martin Odegaard. I'm going to watch that back when I finish this live stream. Listen, but again, like I said, the only negative was defensively today. I thought we was really poor in that second half. No disrespect to Brighton, but I think we allowed them to come back into it. Yes, they're going to chase it a bit more because they're going to chase goals down, but they make it force. It's a Saliba mistake, which is very, very unrare. And the young guy gets in. I can't forget his name, the Brighton lad that scored the goal. But yeah, poor defensively, man. Very poor. But and also as well, it got a bit dicey with about 10 minutes to go. If that Matoma goal wasn't disallowed to make it 4-3, we would have had a very, 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 very dicey 6 minutes of injury time. And that really would have concerned a lot of Arsenal fans watching that, the ones at the ground and ones watching it on the TV. But luckily for us, VAR ruled it out. It's funny because watching it during the game when they got the third goal, which we thought was the third goal, Matoma's second goal, it actually came out pretty quickly that he was offside. So I was quite surprised it took so long for the commentary team to actually kind of say, yeah, this was this goal's been disallowed. But again, another pivotal moment. That goal being disallowed gives us a 2-goal buffer. They get the goal to make it 4-3. It's an awful 6 minutes to endure for us as Arsenal fans. But listen, one thing I will credit this Arsenal team with this season. Yes, youngest team in the Premier League, but when we're tested, when we're put under pressure, we come through. There's a guts. There's a resilience. Our attacking final third, they all scored today. Eddie, Martin Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka. That is what you want. If they continue, I think between Saka, for example, and Martinelli, I think goals contribution wise now between them is like 19. That's fantastic at this stage of the season. With the games we've got coming up, we've got some dicey games of football coming up, and very, very spicy games, should I say? But listen, big win today. And you know what? I think obviously we saw the result of Man City drawing 1-1. And we saw Newcastle draw again. I think that's Newcastle's 7th draw this season. They lost one game, but you can see why we've got the points lead ahead of them because it's drawn 7 games this season, Newcastle, in the Premier League. But it's important we didn't lose today. And I think Paul Merson made a good point in the analysis before the start of the game that this is a different Arsenal side in the sense that, you know, not many teams want to play us at the moment because we're playing some fantastic football. And that's a very different mindset from the way teams probably used to come up against Arsenal, be physical, bully them. Can't do that this season. We've got speed, we've got pace, we've got intricacy, we've got goals in the team. Defensively, we're a better unit than we have been for many, many years. There's many, many plus points. And I think we saw the stat in the first half that came up that Arsenal away from home ranked first in terms of in the Premier League. Which counts a lot. I think it was for goals, points, and wins. And I think there's one more that we in first place for. Let me come to the comments quickly because I'm not going to stay long because I want to enjoy the rest of New Year's Eve. I'll win, chill, and see the new year in. Let me come to the chat quickly. Wilson, thank you, and brother. Wish you happy new year too. Many people that are watching this live now, and when they watch it back, they probably watch it back when it's New Year's Day because they're probably out celebrating already. But yeah, man, I'm happy, man. Seriously, man. I thought Arsenal would win. I did think they would win. I generally did think they was going to win, but it's one of them games where all you want them to do is continue what they've shown already this season. Starting games well, getting on the front foot. Our goal difference is excellent. We're not conceding many goals this season. We've only lost one game this season as well. It's looking good. I think if anybody wanted any indication that Arsenal are in a title race, listen, it is what it is, man. The stats and the performances and the points gained and the goals, they don't lie. The second half would be a bit of a concern for Mikel Arteta defensively because we can't have those lapses of concentration against the likes of Spurs away and Newcastle at home. And there's some big games of football coming up, and we need to iron out these little moments of lapses of concentration out of our game. But listen, let's not grumble. Let's be serious here. We are playing some brilliant football. We probably currently got the best midfield trio in the Premier League, as I've heard a few people say, and I don't disagree with that. And onwards and upwards for the remainder of the season, to be honest with you. We've ended 2022 fantastic. And yeah, really, really proud of the team, man. It's been an amazing start this season. And yes, they're throwing around that not many teams have not gone on to win the league at this stage of the season. But listen, that's what's happened in the past. We can only control what happens now. And yeah, absolutely buzzing as an Arsenal fan, man. People, man, seriously. Right. I'm not going to keep you guys long. I'll go through a few more of the chats. Audio listeners, this will go on my Spotify and Anchor so you can hear my dulcet tones for the last time in 2022, but coming back very soon in 2023 as well. Wilson's put another song in the chat. I believe that the Gunners need a striker, winger, two midfielders, and the left side centre back to add more quality and depth to our squad. Yeah, the transfer window is going to be interesting, you know. It's about not repeating the mistakes from before. That is absolutely key, because we was in a position last season to cement top four, and we didn't cement top four, and a large chunk of that was to do with not actually, you know, reinforcing in January. We are in 100% better position than we was last season because we're top of the league by 7 points. And we're in a league title race. Let's call it as it is. We are. You know, I think some people, Arsenal fans, and I get it, they probably don't want to say that we are in a title race to probably come the end of January. But look, if you look at the way we're playing, look at the league table, look at the performances from the team. And one thing I must say, because I said this about Martin Odegaard a few times, that what I wanted to see from him more, obviously more goals and taking shots at goal, is to put in the performances as he does at the Emirates, doing it, replicating it, and doing it away from home. Then he will get the detractors who still, for some reason, find a way to, how can I put it, pick holes in him, which I find remarkable with the performance he put in. But that's what I want to say. I want to see him do it more away from home. That's the key thing for me, because yes, teams set up differently. Yes, teams are at home and they want to stick one on Arsenal and they don't want to let us play, and they're going to sit back and make it tight and have two banks of four, and we're going to have to use our wide men to break them down and intricate play. But you want to see us, our talisman, perform away from home. And my word, they did that today. All of them scored. Martin Odegaard plays a world-class pass for the fourth goal. And we move onwards and upwards for the rest of the season. But people, what I want to say is a massive, massive thank you to the support to the channel. And not just your support to the channel, but also when you see me on other channels, on bigger platforms, and you're there in the chat box sharing your support. So it means a lot. I always say people's time to me means more than anything. Yeah, I want more subscribers. Of course, who doesn't when they have a YouTube channel? But, you know, you have a community. Listen to them, engage with them, and, you know, they will come back and watch your content. There's a hell of a lot of Arsenal content out there, and I always say this, and I don't take it for granted or take it lightly that people are just going to come and watch my channel. There's a lot of Arsenal content to consume. So I appreciate your time, your comments, your efforts. And yeah, listen, massive shout out to Lee Judges TV for giving me my own slot on their channel. Shout out to the Arsenal Lounge Boys for letting me do the same thing. Big up to Lights the Same by Arsenal, the Hybrid Squad, the Gooner Talk TV, Chronicles of the Gooner. These guys have been a massive, massive help to me in terms of me growing my channel, me growing as an individual, the way I talk about Arsenal, but still try to remain sort of authentic and be myself. But yeah, I'm very appreciative of the platform I've been given and creating my own platform. And long may it continue. I will strive to be better. More of the content will come. So just keep an eye out. The work hasn't stopped. I'm going to continue to push and grow my channel even further and network even more and forge relationships and working relationships with people. Much love to you, man. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas. I wish you a happy new year and a prosperous new year and all the best for 2023 because you deserve it. And hopefully Arsenal can give us Arsenal fans something to smile about. Because a lot of Arsenal fans, depending on their age, have not seen Arsenal win a league title. So that'll be massive for a particular generation of fans that have not seen that. But hopefully they're backed in January. Not just with Mikhailo Mudryk and the links with him, but just addressing areas of the pitch where we do need a little bit of help in terms of volume and numbers and even a little bit more quality. Let me come to the chat before I log off quickly, people. Let me see. Let me see over the year. Let me see things in there. Over the years, we've been guilty of not getting that second goal and making the game harder. Nice to see us being more clinical. That's the thing, man. Like that's why I say there was moments. There were moments within the game getting the goal to go 1-0 up against a team that start very well in the first 15 minutes, by the way, in Brighton. Getting the second goal before half time, getting the goal immediately after the second half, getting the fourth goal in Brighton, get the goal to make it 3-1. The four key moments, man. And they went our way. They went our way. So I'm buzzing, man. I'm happy. Made a lot of substitutions. Someone's mentioned it in the chat. I understand that. Listen, Zinchenko was out for quite a long time. And yeah, he's come back into the fold. We still got ESR to come back. I think he's pretty close, and we're going to need him. We're going to need him. We can't just be reliant on the guys that have been doing the business so far and have been cutting the mustard. But good evening, Rancid Pumpkin, Mr. Mensa. Big up, Albert. Great performance there, but we have to keep our composure and not let complacency punish us. Big games coming, and we need to remain resilient. 100%. 100%. There were moments at second half I thought, wow, defensively, this is not a good show today. Absolutely not. I'm not saying we've got a God-given right to go and get a clean sheet at the Amex, but it helps if you defend a little bit better. But yeah, we've got some big games of football coming up. Managed to secure my ticket for Newcastle, which was a struggle. Got there in the end. So the person knows who got that ticket for me, so I appreciate it. But people in the chat, thank you for tuning in. As you know already, Albert JTV, my Instagram and Twitter handle is going along the bottom of the screen, as you know. All the listeners, you'll be used to that. But right, let me go to chat before I wrap up. Last comment. We're still Heart Attack FC 100%, but we don't concede, and that's the difference. Yeah, like I said, defensively, we've got a defense that we can trust a lot more than what we've had in the last 5 to 10 years, maybe even longer. Listen, there's going to be games. The age thing's spoken about a lot, but there's going to be games where it is going to be Heart Attack FC because this is Arsenal. We're probably still going to get Heart Attack FC come the January transfer window. But listen, from the minute it hits January 1st tomorrow, Arteta, Edu, particularly Edu, that's when the work starts, man. As I think the work's already started in terms of bringing potential numbers in. But people, big up to you in the chat. I'm going to log off now because I didn't want to enjoy the rest of my New Year's Eve. Respect for jumping in the chat and giving your comments. Fantastic win today. 7 points clear at the top of the league, people. Who would have thought that at the start of the season or the end of last season? Losing to Newcastle and a dead rubber game at the home to Everton at the Emirates, where it was sort of doom and gloom and what could have been. But time doesn't wait for no one. Football moves on pretty fast. And before I go, I must say one thing. I'm glad I just remembered. Rest in peace, Pele. Wow. One player would have loved to have been alive to watch play. A lot of the clips I've seen play of him, this guy played in an era where people talk about protection now, and with people like Saka and protection on the gifted players in Premier League. These back in the 60s and 70s, these guys used to get butchered. Pele got kicked out of that 1966 World Cup. Some of the tackles there were unbelievable. But Pele, over 1,000 career goals, 3 World Cup wins. And I think the bad thing is we knew it was coming because he'd been ill for a long, long time. What an innings, 82, man. Yeah, and I think, you know what, as a black kid growing up watching football, and You look at people that look like you and someone of that higher echelon, not just a great footballer, but someone that transcended sport, a top sportsman, not just a great footballer, an unbelievable human being, and that's sad passing, but rest in peace, Pele, absolute legend. But people, that is Albert JTV over and out for 2022. As I say, smash the like button. If watch this back on Twitter or YouTube or Facebook Live, I appreciate you tuning in. And yeah, we move on to 2023, man. Hopefully good things for Arsenal and for yourselves in the chat and people watching this back. Wishing you all the best for 2023. But yeah, people, Albert JTV over and out. Match review, Brighton 2, Arsenal 4. Come on, you flipping Gunners. Top of the league, people. 7 points clear. Come on, you Gunners. Albert JTV over and out.